Hi, I'm Magic Ben, and today I'm going to show and teach a trick called Forces. I have here with my friend Liz, and now Liz, we haven't prearranged anything. You don't know what you're about to see, and this is a live single continuous shot. But I'm also going to teach this trick. So if you want to stand for the if you want to just watch the performance, I'll also be performing the tricks, and then I'll teach how it's done. So I'll do the tricks first. So this is just a regular deck of cards, okay? And I have a prediction with me here, and I'm gonna just give the cards a shuffle. Okay, and Liz, I want you to just cut off whatever you want. Cut off a chunk. Yep. Okay. Now, and I'll mark the card cut like that. Now, do you have a favorite card that in a deck of cards? Is there any card that you think of that is special to you in any way?
Queen of Hearts.
The Queen of Hearts. Okay. Now, a lot of people say the Queen of Hearts actually. So that's
yeah.
one of the cards that's often picked. And I'll say that that's not the card that I had predicted that you would cut to. But you can go ahead and turn over that prediction here. And it's the Ace of Clubs. Okay, so I'm gonna, we'll see where you cut to, and go ahead and
Turn over the whole thing?
turn off the not the whole thing, just the top card.
Wow.
Wow.
Was that kind of interesting?
Yeah.
All right. So now this is actually kind of a three-part thing. So that was one of the things. Okay. So now I have a different prediction here, and it's set here, and I'm gonna give these cards a shuffle. Okay. You can see. I'm gonna push these in. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna actually just cut off a. Let me see. I'm gonna shuffle. Oh, maybe I'll shuffle it again. So, okay. And I'll just let's see. I'll cut off a chunk of cards, and you can say I'm gonna just let me see. You'll say stop, and I'll just drop off some cards here.
Stop.
What? Here. Okay. All right. So I go over to turn over the top card of the deck here. 5 of diamonds. Okay. And there's a predictive card here. You can just turn over the thing. It's a transparent case.
Ooh.
Okay, right. So all right. So that's the second part of the trick, and we'll do another one. Okay. Or why don't you shuffle this time?
Okay.
You shuffle the cards. Okay. Go ahead and cut them. Okay. All right. You happy with that? Okay. So now I'm going to have you just touch a card. You're just going to reach out and touch a card. Let's do this. Okay. So reach out and just touch a card. This one. Okay. And go ahead and turn over that card.
Wow.
Okay. So
Wow.
was that cool?
That's cool.
So you ended on just a regular deck of cards.
Wow.
You ended on the 5 diamonds. Okay.
Cool.
So I'm Magic Ben. I hope you enjoyed the performance of Forces, and I live for the people who enjoy Magic performances, and so I don't. My channel isn't necessarily about teaching Magic, but I do incorporate some teaching. So and any self-respecting Magic channel has to have like something about forcing. So forcing is such a fun. So I'm now about to go into the tutorial part of the video. So forcing is such a fundamental tool in Magic, and one of the neat things about Magic is when you get to a certain level, you can actually create tricks. So there's lots of tricks where that that I create and that I'm just performing for the first time, and I'll usually do a trick several times with my friends. I'm always doing magic tricks with friends when I go to dinner or whatever, and it's really rewarding when you get to that level, when you get to that skill level. But forcing is a tool, right? So like, I was having I had a conversation with my friend Henry, and we were talking about magic, and I said, I had shown him a trick. Imagine I had just shown him this trick, and he was thinking, like, he was asking, well, how'd you do that? And we got to somehow I kind of got on the subject of magic tools, and he was like he was thinking. I mentioned something. It's kind of like a puzzle, and he's like, "Yo, I love puzzles," and he's a very good thinker, right? So he has an engineering degree, and I said, I have an engineering degree too, but the things I learned in engineering aren't, I didn't go to school for magic, I went to school for engineering, but I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours studying magic, and I have 100 books, and I've watched hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos of magic. So I have a lot of tools that a typical person doesn't have. They're tools about magic. So I'm going to teach you here a few, I showed 3 performances here, 3 tricks, and they all used forcing. But they're special because they're not just any forcing. I did a simple force, I did an intermediate force, and I did an advanced force. So so kind of whatever level of skill of magic you are, there's something for you. Okay, so now a lot of these are with practice. None of these are super hard. They're all pretty practical and relatively easy to do. So the first force is called the crosscut force, and it uses something called time misdirection. Okay, so it's a force which fundamentally it looks. I'll find for the here's the prediction card, right? The Ace of Clubs, and let me find the Ace of Clubs. So we'll do it with the Ace of Clubs. Okay, so the Ace of Clubs is at the top of the deck. Okay, and basically, what it is I had you cut the deck, so go ahead and cut the deck at some point. Okay, actually, we'll do it with the Ace of Clubs face up so you see it. And this is what the crosscut force is. I do that, so I say, I'll mark your cut here, okay? And then what I do is I remove this. You can put it on top, and I say, go ahead and turn over the top card. And that's what it is, right?
Yeah,
It's basically, you cut it like this, I put it on here, and I just removed the top, and then I had you turn over the card. Now, if I did that really fast, if I did that, go ahead and cut the deck, you cut it like this, and then I just removed it and turned over the card, you'd be like, hey, that wasn't a trick. So the reason why this works is because it uses something called time misdirection. Now, that's kind of another tool, sort of, because misdirection, I guess, in magic is a fundamental tool. But time misdirection, in particular, is interesting because your audience will look where you look. Your audience will look where you gesture. So directing your audience's attention is important. But also, good magic isn't just, here's a card, pick a card, and immediately I reveal it, right? Usually, if you look in a lot of my magic, maybe not all of them, but in a lot of my magic tricks, I try to incorporate something interesting or a story or some backstory behind it. But I'm teaching you a tool here, so it is kind of simple. Just I find a tool. Here's a prediction, and you do something, and here the card matches. So in this case, this is a classic, by the way. It's called the crosscut force, and all you do is you basically you have the spectator cut. You say, I'm going to mark the cut, and then there's a couple ways you can basically, however you want to time. So what I did was I started a conversation about your favorite card. Now that didn't I did that spontaneously, by the way, so maybe that wasn't so great because you ended on the Queen of Diamonds. Now it would have been amazing if you picked the Ace of Clubs. Yeah. But it did the job, it had some time misdirection. In other words, it wasn't just, oh, here's your card, I added something to buffer in time. Okay, so that's the first one, a classic of magic called the crosscut force. And the simplest, you saw how simple that was. Like, it can't get simpler than that, right? Yeah, you basically have the card at the top of the deck, you cut it and then uncut it, and there it is, you know.
Didn't
So
you have me shuffle it though, and then?
oh, we did. Oh, that's a good point. So I shuffled it. Now, when I shuffled it, I'll keep the card on top. What you want to do is you want to make sure that the card still
Yeah,
remains
if you
on top.
shuffle it, yeah,
And
yeah.
it looks like a shuffle, right? Like I actually shuffled the card
Yeah.
very very well, and it looks shuffled. Okay. So now I'm doing the simplest reveal because I'm focusing on the tool about forcing. But the reveal is also very interesting in Magic. So you can do lots and lots of different really neat stuff in the reveal. Imagine this is in an orange, right? Or this could be in my
Yeah.
wallet. You know, I could have. In fact, I always keep in my wallet. A card, right? So like you can it can be in a wallet, it can be in a piece of candy, it can be in a purse, it could be so how you reveal a card can be very interesting and can be part of the story too. So I'm just doing a very, very simple reveal here just to make it more teachable. Okay. So the second thing I did was there's something in Magic called the second deal, which is basically did I lose the ace of? I think I lost the ace of clubs. I'll find it again. Where was it? Okay. Oh, here it is. All right.
Imagine if Liz had it in her wallet.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Right. So basically, I'm not great at a second deal, but it looks something like this. So you have like, I'm dealing you a card, I'll deal a card, I'll deal a card, and and basically I keep the ace on top as I deal cards.
Okay.
So the this second deal is a little different. So this is, I have a prediction here, and I'm basically just gonna deal off some cards, and you can say stop whenever you'd like.
Stop.
Okay, here. Okay, so and then basically I have this card on top. So the way this works is basically the way a second deal works is basically you're pushing off. Where was the ace? Oh, I should just keep it out or keep it flipped up. Basically you're pushing off kind of with your thumb here, and you're pulling off the second card, and you're dealing the second card beneath it. Now it's very obvious because I have the top card turned over for you.
Yeah.
So and normally when you deal, you're dealing it so if you're dealing it smoothly, it looks like it's just the cards coming off the top. And some people I don't practice this particular thing too much, but some people are amazing at it. But that's the basic idea. The idea of this, the lazy second deal, is so I have the prediction card on top of the deck, and I'm just doing the same thing, except I'm just taking up chunks of the card. So it's kind of like gravity doing it. It's the easiest second deal you can do, and I'm just taking up chunks while keeping the top top card
so no
there.
matter where I stop.
And all the cards are gonna eventually just drop, just because gravity is pulling them, right? So all I'm doing is just taking a few cards off, and you can say stop whenever you like, and the angles here are important. So obviously somebody looking here, I'm showing it the best angle because the camera's there. But normally you're kind of holding it here and just say stop when. So it looks like you're pulling off cards from the top of the deck, right? Does that seem like what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you say you'd like to stop here, and then of course it matches the thing. So now that's pretty easy still. It's intermediate because you do have to practice it a little bit. I think you want to hold the top card just right so that cards can drop out, and that it's looking like you're kind of taking out chunks of the cards from the top of the deck. But it's still not so hard. Okay. The last one is probably the hardest, so the last force I shuffled. Okay. and I showed the shuffle, and I pushed the cards in, right? So really seeing the cards shuffled, and then I cut, and then I said, you can stop me wherever you'd like, and just point out point to a card, like stick your finger out and wherever you'd like, just point to a card. Here, okay. So, and that's the 5 of diamonds. Now this isn't this is the hardest, but it's also one that is used a lot by magicians. It's called the classic force, and it is really a classic. Now, some magicians are amazingly good at it. I'm kind of okay at it, but you see it worked, you know. Basically, now in this case, I have the card marked. Okay, so in a couple ways, and I'll show you. So the 5 of diamonds here. If you want to bring in closer on the camera here. In this case, I have it. The back is different on the 5 of diamonds. You see, the back is different. So it's extremely easy to see for me, you know, which card is the 5 of diamonds. Moreover, I've also marked the 5 of diamonds. So you see there's two, I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 black dots on the 5 of diamonds here. So it's super easy for me to see when you just hold out your finger, and I'm going to have you touch a card. Right? So just touch a card. Yep. So now you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But before you didn't know what you were looking for, and
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's very easy to sort of time it just right. There's a variation of this though, and I'll teach, and it's similar to the classic force, and I'll do this one. So basically, reach out and touch any card. All right, and I'm going to have you change your mind. Okay, so reach out and touch a different card. This one. Okay, so now I'm going to have you just remember your card.
Okay.
All right, and that matches the card.
Yeah.
What I did there was basically you can literally touch any card you like. Okay, so this one, and you see this is not your card, right? You can tell that's not the card.
Yeah.
But what you want to do is spread down till you see your card. I have a break on it, so you see it's separated from the rest of the cards, and it's the key card, right? So, and what you do is when you show the card, it's hard to do slow, but basically in the motion of going up and showing your card, I say this is your card.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is I'm pushing your card in. At the same time, the whole ensemble is coming up, and I'm showing you your card. Does that look? Did it look like that was you touched a card, but yet this was the card you touched, right? It looked like that. So again, it's made a lot easier if you pencil dot it or mark. I made it very obvious too, black Sharpie marker bars. I also made it also very obvious. I'm just giving you more tools here. You can use a different colored back or different kind of back. That looks close enough. Like, did you notice it was different immediately? On very careful inspection, of course, you can see right away that they're two different backs. But if you don't know what you're looking for in the heat of the moment, like, it's pretty good. So I'll have you do this. So now you know what you're looking for. 2 pencil dots, the 2 backs. Okay. You can do. Why don't you just try to do the classic force? So basically, what you want to do is spread open kind of slowly, and it's a timing thing, right? So basically, as you have them say, "I'm gonna hold out your finger." So you see where their finger is, and then you see just touch any card. And then as they, you time it so that when their finger touches the thing, you're essentially giving them a card that. So give it a try. You know what you're looking for, the pencil dot. Say, hold out your finger.
Hold out your finger.
Yep. And then touch any card.
Touch any card.
Yeah, you want to kind of spread them out enough that you got to try. And as I'm coming in.
I got to find it first.
There you go. Okay, and then you say just touch a card. That's the thing. So, all right. and then you reveal. I did a very simple reveal because I wanted to focus on teaching the force. So there's in YouTube land, there's lots and lots and lots of videos about forcing, but it is a fundamental tool of magic, so I wanted to have it on my channel. And I taught a very simple force, the crosscut force, which uses time misdirection. You know, kind of looks like that, and you're revealing a card. The lazy second deal, where you're taking off chunks of cards, letting gravity help you, and say stop, and then you turn over the card, and then there's a number of different kinds of gimmick cards. This is just the very simplest one, just penciled out a card so you can see it right away. And using the classic, it makes the classic force very easy. You can do the classic force also if you have the card on the bottom and you just cut the deck, and then you can keep track of it with a break, and then that way you don't need a pencil dot either. You can also just stop at the break, and you know, time it that way. But I did this so it's easier to learn, and eventually people will graduate to you don't need that. So. Okay, anyway, I hope this gives you a new tool in your magic arsenal, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and check out some of my other Magic Ben videos. Have a great day.